I've been quiet about this whole vegan thing and this What the Hell documentary long enough. Hang tight, because I think this is going to be a long video. So if you haven't seen What the Health, it is a documentary on Netflix, and some of the things they discuss is some of the scams and schemes in the food industry. And basically the main idea of the documentary is to get people to see how much better consuming a plant-based diet is much better for you than eating meat, and how meat causes cancer. How, Sway? How? So there are a bunch of things that I find like vigorously flawed about this documentary. So I'm gonna just go through a lot of the issues that I noticed in this documentary. So, number one, the guy hosting the damn documentary is a recovering hypochondriac. I should have cut it off right then and there. Problem number two, this guy looked like he had to be at least 30, no older than 40. He was a younger guy, but he's been around long enough to know that processed meat, like he just now realized what processed meat was. It took you 30, 40 years to realize that deli meat and hot dogs and bacon is processed meat. Where are your priorities? Another problem. You calling around all these different organizations. You calling American Cancer Society. You calling Susan Conan. If you don't know who Susan Conan is, it's the Breast Cancer Awareness Society. You calling all these organizations. You call the World Health Organization and asking them all these questions. Here's the problem. Here's the problem with that. You asking them these questions like, why is it that you recommend beef and pork in someone's diet and it causes cancer? How the fuck you gonna call the call center and ask them, why do you put this on their web? They don't deal with that. And that was the first thing they told the dude. Sir, I really don't deal with that. And then he can't figure out, he's like, oh, well, he said he doesn't deal with that. Of course, if you call Snap Fitness tomorrow from the hours of 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and you ask me, hey, what was Snap Fitness's profit shares or whatever it was within the last year? I'm gonna tell you, I don't deal with that. I don't deal with that. That's a corporation thing, and you need to call the corporation. Don't call our location and be asking us no shit like that. Of course we don't know. Really? Then you had a doctor get up there and goes, it's not the carbohydrates in someone's diet that's making them fat. It's the fat in the diet that makes you fat. Where the fuck you got that science from? You supposed to be a doctor. Get your stuff together, man. Tell me where you found that at. We all know that is some kind of old 70s and 80s adage, some wives' tale that fat makes you fat. Fat does not make you fat. So you telling me if I eat avocados, nuts, peanut butter, and seeds, I'm gonna get fat? Okay, thought so. Another problem. How do we know that, and this kind of piggybacks on what I just said about the doctors in this documentary, you know, speaking of this non-scientific crap about fat making you fat. How do we know this guy didn't just pay somebody to just come up here and say all these things? Okay, listen, I know that there's things in the food industry that we should know about. It's a lot of hidden things. I know that unless meat is organic or whatever you want to call it, then it's you know, you kind of taking your chances. But of course you're gonna go and show a video of somebody injecting a chicken with some kind of hormones. Like, how do we know you didn't just do that just for entertainment purposes to say, oh, look, I see it right there. They're injecting the chicken with hormones. I'm not gonna eat meat anymore. People, don't fall for the okie doke, all right? Because this dude, he could have paid anybody to do that crap. Another problem, surprise, surprise. I saw somebody made a Facebook post about how do we feel about the What the Health documentary X, Y, and Z. Some lady, and they said this in the documentary. So gorillas only eat plants and they're the strongest. Let me tell you a secret, people. I don't think birds eat animal flesh either. So if we want to fly, I guess that we should go to a plant-based diet. Birds can fly. We're talking about a whole damn different species. So if I want to fly, I'm supposed to eat what a bird eats. If I want to be big and strong like a gorilla, I should eat what a gorilla eats. Get your shit together. Who you think you fooling? The takeaway from this, folks, do your own damn research. Yes, I know there's things in the food industry. I know there's a lot of things. I know there's a lot of added things in foods, and I know that sponsors will pay to have their names on certain products and certain boxes saying that it's heart healthy, XYZ. I've known this for quite some time. Why should it take some clown, some recovering hypochondriac? If you don't know what a hypochondriac is, it's somebody that always think they sick and always scared that they're gonna get sick if they do X, Y, and Z. Now, if that's the wrong definition of it, then please put it in the comments. Correct me if I'm wrong. I really don't care. But I've dealt with hypochondriacs before, and they always think something wrong with them. All right, so this dude is putting all this mess out here and saying that, oh, well, the American Cancer Society has sponsors, and everybody got sponsors, fool. Coca-Cola sponsors studies all the time. We know that's not the healthiest drink in the world. Okay, come on, man. The one thing from this documentary that had me irritated the absolute most, there was this lady. She was very obese, walking with a walker, and she was talking about all these medications she had to take for this disease, for that disease, for this condition, for that condition, blah, 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 blah. Then, towards the end of the documentary, all of a sudden, the lady doesn't need the walker. She doesn't have medication. She doesn't need any of her medications, X, Y, and Z. And she said it's because she switched to a plant-based diet. Let me tell you the problem I got with that. This lady never said what she was eating them 40, 50 years that she was on this earth. All right. She probably had been eating all kind of processed foods, not just processed meat, but she probably been eating fast food. She probably been eating chips, cookies, oatmeal pies, you name it. She probably was picking out at the barbecue buffet. She probably was picking out at Ryan's and having Chinese buffet, and she probably had the worst diet in the world. That was never discussed. All we discussed was that she switched to a plant-based diet for 2 weeks and now she's off all her medication. Of course, if you change your eating habits, if you go from eating all that mess to a plant-based diet, of course you're gonna lose weight. Of course you're not gonna need medication. Of course you're not gonna need your walker no more. Who you think you fooling? I wish I could remember this idiot's name. I say his name right now. Who you think you fooling? You can't fool me. Get yourself together. Meat causes cancer. You know what I find amazing though? For years, people went hunting for food. Plants went hunting for animals. They fished for food. Now people fish for sport. I find that very interesting. So now all of a sudden, just because this guy found one little measly little video of somebody injecting something, which we don't even know if that video official in the first place, this guy injecting, this factory injecting these hormones and stuff inside of a chicken, all of a sudden we need to just stop eating meat, and the meat is causing cancer. Let me hit you with this right here. You take a chance walking out your house every day, out your house, your apartment, wherever you live. You take a chance getting inside your car and driving down the street to the store, to work, wherever. You take a chance with everything. Same thing with food. If you're not growing that shit in your backyard yourself, you don't know what's in what. So you telling me that you're not gonna eat the meat that the grocery store sells, but you're gonna eat the bananas that they sell. You're gonna eat that bag of spinach that they selling. You don't know. You don't know what's in any of that. We don't know. We go out to restaurants. We don't know. I'm not trying to scare nobody, but it's a lot, like, we put a lot of trust in a lot of things. So it's just the meat that you don't trust. Tell me something. Do you grow all that stuff in your backyard? Can you physically produce some water and put it in a bottle? Okay, so we don't know if that bottled water is safe. That fresh broccoli from Fresh Market or Whole Foods or wherever it is, you don't know if that's safe. So suddenly there's pesticides on the fruits and vegetables. Meat causes cancer. What the hell are we supposed to eat? What the hell are we supposed to drink? You tell me. If you a hypochondriac and you a vegan and you think meat causes cancer, put it in the comments. Tell me what you think. Because if you ain't growing that shit yourself, if you ain't cooking none of that shit yourself, guess what? You took a chance. There's a chance that something could happen. What I find funny, what I find even more amazing is when I wasn't working out, when I was living a sedentary lifestyle and I was eating Pop-Tarts, chips, eating at buffets all the time, people thought that was awesome. Damn, this boy can eat. That's the first thing they said. Damn, this boy can eat. Hey, man, we love watching you eat. Yeah, big boy, you can eat, can't you? Then you switch to things like lean meats, protein powders, vegetables, pre-workout drinks. I'm gonna say, yeah, I use pre-workout. Drinking water all the time. People want to find flaws in that. When I start lifting weights, oh my gosh, that's a lot of weight. Don't get hurt. When I was laying around being a fat ass all day, you didn't tell me, don't have a heart attack. You didn't say that. I don't understand. Nobody ever said, hey, stop eating all that processed crap. It's not good for you. Nobody ever said that. So your concern is processed meat. The meat the meat that they say is organic is supposedly not organic. Come on, man. Find you something to play with. Find you another sucker. One guy got up there and said, the FDA says that I should have dairy in my diet. I'm an African American man. 73% of African Americans are lactose intolerant. That's revolutionized racism. I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. When I studied fitness nutrition to get more CEUs so I can keep my personal training certification, I studied fitness nutrition and I was frustrated because nutrition is something that's very hard to study, and you cannot say one size fits all. You cannot say this works for everybody. Yes, I'll admit, a lot of black folks, a lot of African Americans are lactose intolerant. Yes, I agree with you on that. But just because the FDA says that you can consume a certain amount of milk every day doesn't mean that you should do it. Doesn't make them racist. If you know that shit give you the bubble guts, if you know that shit gonna have you shitting all day and night, if you know it's gonna make you uncomfortable, if you know that it's gonna make your farts sound like 5-minute tugboats, all right, sounding like a cruise ship running through the neighborhood, then don't drink milk. I don't drink whole milk. You know why I don't drink whole milk? Not because I don't think people don't need dairy in their diet, not because I think milk causes cancer, not because I think milk is bad for you. It's because I am lactose intolerant. It's not one size fits all for nutrition. I may need 3,000 calories a day. Susie Q over there may need only 16,000 calories, 1,600, excuse me. You don't know. The FDA says they said I should consume dairy, a certain amount of dairy every day. You think I'm gonna listen to them? No, because I'm lactose intolerant. Milk gives me fucking gas, and it gives me gas that nasty, stinking sour cheese smelling farts. All right? I'm not going to eat that crap. I'm not going to consume that because I know how uncomfortable it's going to make me. Am I the healthiest that I ever been? Yes, and I have not had whole milk in probably about 5-6 years. Just because some stupid study or some website says that you should do it, doesn't mean that you should do it. And it doesn't make them racist. It doesn't make them bigots. It does not make them murderers. Do your own damn research. Supposedly, eating 1 egg a day is the equivalent to smoking 6 cigarettes. I really would like for you, since you a qualified nutritionist and you know all these things about cancer, and you call the call center to get information on all these things, write me a diet. Tell me what to eat. Give me something that's not going to that's going to help me fight cancer. Because, I mean, cancer like bullets. Ain't got no name on it. If cancer gonna come, it's gonna come. But I'm gonna tell you like this right here. I'm not figuring to ride around the rest of my life going, oh, I better not eat that. I might get, I better not do. I want to ask this dude, has he ever been on an airplane? You don't do research on the pilots that that's controlling these planes, do you? You're not going to do research on all the drivers that you see on the streets to see if they have valid driver's license, are you? No. We take a risk with things each and every day. Stop walking around thinking that because you saw 1 or 2 little studies that said eating meat cause a certain group of people cancer. You may need more information from the study. Like these studies can be real vague. I remember when the study came out a few years ago talking about how all this protein causing cancer. We don't know the sources of that protein. It could have been 500 Big Macs a day. Yes, Big Macs have lots of protein. They also have a lot of other shit in it you ain't supposed to be eating either. Okay? So before you go, protein and meat causes cancer. Do more research. That's the takeaway from this video. I want each and every one of you watching this video, remember, do your own research. All right? Stop letting these cult followings dictate how you live your lives. Okay? I'm done ranting. I don't even know why I wasted my time on this idiot, but I'm just so disgusted at this whole vegan craze. Everybody going vegan now just because this guy. Remember, do your own research. Like, subscribe, reshare, do your own damn research.